Welcome back, guys. Today, I want to do my 2026 NFL honors predictions. With the season pretty much coming to an end and me only having just one more prediction video for the NFL season, I feel like it's only right for us to go through some of the NFL awards that often gets given out. Now, this year's video is going to be done a little differently. For one, there will not I am taking out a few awards like FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Year. I'm also taking out the Rookie of the Year overall. I'm just going to say it out loud if anyone cares. But the NFL Honors is set to take place on February 5th, if I'm correct. February 5th, Thursday, the Thursday before the Super Bowl. And it's going to be on NBC. And let's dive in. Starting off with Offensive Rookie of the Year, candidates include Jackson Dart, Emeka Ibuka, Trevion Henderson, Tedoroa McMillan, and Tyler Shook. And honestly, this was not I wouldn't say this wasn't the strongest rookie class, but I kind of understand where they're coming from. Just imagine if Scatterboo would have never got hurt. Just something to think about. But as for winners, I think it's a two or three horse, pretty much a two-horse race between Ibuka and Ted McMillan. But I'm gonna throw my bias out front, and I'm gonna pick Tedoroa McMillan to take this award. I mean, he's the only wide receiver between Ibuka and Ted. I think Ted had 1,000 yards, season. Not sure if Ibuka has had it because Ibuka started the season very strong, but he did hit a wall at some point. Probably when Chris Godwin came back. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ted McMillan to win. But I hope all these rookies can sustain their success in the future. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Candidates include Abdul I Like to Sleep Through Meetings Carter, Nick Emanwori, probably said his name wrong, James Pierce Jr., Carson Schwessinger, and Xavier Watts. And this is another wide variety class of defensive rookies. But one guy, the person who's going to win will be pretty much the last person you would have bet on. Let me just say this. In the NFL draft, when the draft came and went, everyone said Abdul Carter or even James Pierce would be the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. No one would think that the guy who I'm picking would win it. Cleveland got themselves a steal with Carson Schwessinger. I think he's a shoe-in for this award. And the Browns defense, they got a future. They got a great future. Offensive Player of the Year. Candidates include Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. And this is another one that's kind of all over the place. Because in my eyes, I don't think there's a clear-cut winner. I think there's a chance for any one of these guys to win it. And yes, I'm going to include Bijan in that conversation too. Where picking a winner, honestly, is very, very tough. I'm going back and forth between Drake May and JSN. But, this is a tough one to pick. Between JSN, Drake May, and maybe Puka Nacua, I'm going to go with the safe pick and take Drake May for this award. Because, yes, he's the quarterback of the New England Patriots, and the quarterbacks are often favored to win almost every award. But Drake May, he did it. Sure, he has Stephon Diggs as his wide receiving room, but other than that, he didn't even have the strongest wide receiving room going into the season. He made ways work. He made it work. And hopefully in the Super Bowl, he could go back to his MVP regular season form. Defensive Player of the Year. The candidates include Will Anderson Jr., Nick Bonito, Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons. And before I make my very obvious pick, I wish a speedy and safe recovery for Micah Parsons. Because, let's be real, it's Myles Garrett award to lose. 23 sacks, even though that last sack was a bit of a gimme. Come on. It couldn't go to anyone else. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. And I'm going to talk about what these players came back from. Stefon Diggs came back from a torn ACL. Aiden Hutchinson, I think he broke his leg last season. Trevor Lawrence, he had concussion problems. Christian McCaffrey, he was in and out of the lineup last year with injuries. Also with an assortment because that's the 49ers. And Dak Prescott, who's coming off a torn hamstring. Now, logically speaking, I feel like this award could go to Christian McCaffrey because, again, last season he was pretty much banged up all over his body. People thought his time was up, but this season he had to be the whole 49er offense because, again, everyone on that team was dead. But I think this one, for some reason, I think this one's going to go to Dak Prescott, Cowboys quarterback, because his season got wasted due to a terrible defense. Because Dak and the offense, they were doing everything they can to stay alive in games, but the defense was like, nah, I don't really feel like it. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Dak Prescott, but I feel like it's going to be between him or Christian McCaffrey for this award. NFL AP Coach of the Year. The candidates include Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Mike Macdonald, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel. And I think it's going to come down between the two coaches that are coaching in the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel, with the AKA the Mikes. And I think this one's going to go to Mike Vrabel. I mean, in just 1 year, literally just 1 year, he took a 4-13 New England Patriot team, got them back in contention of the AFC, and now they're back in the Super Bowl yet again. And he could possibly be the first coach to win a Super Bowl as a coach for a team he used to play for. And another reason why I'm giving it over him, because with Mike Macdonald, at least Seattle went 10-7 last year. So it wasn't that big of an upgrade, but yeah, I'm going to go with Mike Vrabel. NFL Assistant Coach of the Year. Candidates include Vic Fangio, Brian Flores, Vance Joseph, Clint Kubiak, and Josh McSnakeoil. I'm not giving it to that snake Josh McDaniels with his 50th stint with the New England Patriots. But I will say, he has been halfway decent. I think that's the only job for him. Patriot offensive coordinator. Don't let him be a head coach or an offensive coordinator with any other team. But for winners, I honestly don't know what the NFL takes into account when it comes to this award. But I'm going to go give the slightest, this might be an educated guess. I'm going to go Clint Kubiak for the Seattle Seahawks. Because that offense, when it chooses to be, is one of the more potent. He made that unit one of the more potent areas in the league. But I don't know. This is a very tough one to choose. I could see any one of these coaches, except for Josh McSnakeoil, to win this award. But for me, since I gave Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year, let's give an opponent Assistant Coach of the Year, Clint Kubiak. And then we have NFL MVP. Nominees are Drake May and Matthew Stafford. I'm just going to leave it to these two. Sure, I could mention Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Christian McCaffrey, but it's been a back and forth race between these two quarterbacks. And even then, I still don't know who to choose. And I mean, they probably, okay. The NFL has already made its decision, so whatever happens in the playoffs is not going to help out. If it was playoff based, I'd probably say Stafford, because Drake May has not been that impressive to me in the NFL playoffs. But Ugh. Again, what I said about Offensive Player of the Year, Drake May was good despite not having an elite group around him. I think I'm going to base it off of just that. So once again, I'm going to go with Drake May to be the MVP. But if Stafford wins, I will not be mad. And normally that would be the end of the video, but like I always do every year, I want to predict this year's class of Hall of Famers. And this year's class better have more than 5 players or alumni. And this class was actually kind of easy to predict, if you ask me. So, first up, I have a quarterback with the most 5,000-yard passing seasons of all time. A guy who uplifted a dead franchise the first year he got there and gave the Saints their only Super Bowl trip and win to date. First up, I have Drew Brees. I think he's a shoo-in to get him. Next up, I have a wide receiver. He put up a ton of crap with his terrible franchise. Seriously, he had Max Hall, John Skelton, Kevin Kolb, Josh Rosen, Matt Leinart as his quarterbacks. So yeah, and he still put up elite numbers despite having those guys under center. And you could probably thank his 2008 run to the Super Bowl, which he saw the Cardinals make their only trip. Hopefully he'll be joined and presented by Kurt Warner, Mr. Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's also a shoo-in. Now the rest of this class is up to fate. And the next up is a tight end. He played for the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know if he still holds this record, but I think he had the single game tight end record for most catches in a single game. He had 18 in one game at one point. 2012 against the Giants. In fact, this guy has only missed one game in his entire NFL career. Definitely an Iron Man. Mr. Jason Witten, now tight ends coach for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, number 4. I did predict him last year. He didn't get in. I think he didn't get enough votes. But he was a kicker who started a dynasty. He got the 4 Super Bowls before Tom Brady did. Remember, he kicked for the Colts as well. And that is Mr. Adam Vinatieri. Number 5. Let's go at anchor of the offensive line for the Baltimore Ravens. Another player who I predicted last year, but he didn't get in. And while I think he may or may not get in this year, it's going to be debatable. But I'm going to go ahead and put him in this boat. And that is Mr. Marshall Yanda. For a contributor, he is an owner who oversaw a now 12 Super Bowl trips. Yes, it'll be 12 in February this season. He definitely deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. He's going to get in either this year or next year. And the guy who loves to give the "We are all Patriots" speech at the end of every Super Bowl. It's Robert Kraft. And for my senior class pick, let's go to Pittsburgh. This guy, I believe he was a defensive lineman. And I'm shocked that he didn't get his name called earlier. Sadly, he passed away in 2013. That's L.C. Greenwood. May he rest in peace. So that's the class I think is going to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I could be wrong, but this is how I love to end my NFL honors prediction videos with. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Who do you think will be a big winner this year at the 2006 NFL honors? Thanks for watching. Gamble safely. I'll see you next time.